I am just so pleased and happy that I was able to bring back to the modern world this ancient meal that made people healthy. It made them strong. Even Olympic athletes, years and years back, they were always the winners. And they would do 30 to 40 days on nothing but eating pulse and drinking water. And they were strong and fast and powerful. And it's just so fascinating to see that. And a lot of people, it surprises them if they're really skinny and eat a lot of pulse, they can put on muscle and some weights and things like that. And people that are obese, if they just eat nothing but pulse and drink water for 30 or 40 days, they lose their weight. And the ancients knew that, and they taught that pulse was the most sacred meal on this earth. And they were just so excited that they figured out how to make it. So it's really, I love it. But as you go back into the ancient and arcane collections and everything else, which in the modern world, they don't want people to see. And one of the biggest things is the government wanted to control the people, and especially women. And women were the highest, most powerful, most brilliant beings on the earth. And women's are the creatrix of life. Without women, none of us would even be here. Without them, we wouldn't be here. Men can plant seeds in the garden, but they can't grow them, you know? And so the women are the creatrix of life. And back in the ancient records, and I saw it, they were the ones, and still to this day, it's the truth. Women can see and smell and taste and hear things that men don't. And I've been with a group of men and women and stuff, and all of a sudden a woman will say, "Ooh, what's that smell?" And all of us men will say, "We don't smell anything." And all the women say, "You don't? We can smell it." You know, and it's, holy heck, it was amazing. And it was the ancient women who discovered the power and the function and the brilliance of plants. They did. They were the ones that embraced trees and discovered that trees keep us alive. Trees create oxygen, and that's what we have to have. And the women would go up and climb the trees and hug the trees and plant trees and do stuff. And they would smell other plants. They were the ones that discovered what we call fruits that are actually edible, because there are some things that look like fruits and they're poisonous. They're not edible. And it was the women that discovered through smell and taste and different things of what was safe. And so they discovered the diet, the uptake of fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and grains and herbs, the other plants. It was the women. And Socrates and Hippocrates and a lot of the other ancients knew that the women were correct. And so they discovered what they were saying and doing and began to teach it to the people. And of course, all of the history records give them credit. They don't want to talk about the women. And it's just so crazy. But that pulse and that pulse meal was just so amazing. When I heard about that as just a young kid, by going to a Sunday school meeting with my friends that begged me to go every single day for over a year. Every Sunday they'd knock on the door. You want to go to Sunday school? And I'd say, I go to school 5 days a week. Why do I want to go on Sunday? Get out of here. And I'd shut the door. And after about a year of doing that every single Sunday, I finally said, okay, I'll go and see what you're doing. And I'm so thankful I did, because in those experiences is how I heard about cults. It's in the Bible. And I couldn't believe there was a book on the earth that huge and that big. And they called it a Bible. I'd never seen anything like that in my life. But it was so fascinating to see it. And anyway, it's in the video, I think, and all of that. So I'll leave that up. But I just absolutely love the pulse. And I'm thankful that you people are making it and following the ancient recipe, which I gave to you to make it and share. And the original pulse is so fabulous. And it even says on here, 100% raw, gluten-free, GMO-free, no preservatives, fruits, nuts, seeds, grains. And it's just so fascinating. It never goes bad. Pulse never goes bad, and they knew that. And they would even dig cellars in the ground and take the pulse down and put it in so that it would stay in the dark and stay cool in case there was a drought. Because in some countries, when there's droughts, there's nothing to eat. And especially if you're vegetarian or vegan, there's nothing to eat when there's droughts. You don't kill the animals and eat the dead, rotting bodies. That's just, that's so hideous and horrible when people fall for that crap. But they would keep the pulse down there so that during that drought, they would have food to eat. And it actually kept them alive. And that's in the ancient records.
Yeah.
And sometimes that would go for months. And all they ate was pulse and drink water. They were healthy, they were strong, they were happy, they were just always there. And I love how they added different flavors by the women discovering the taste of different plants and different things. They were the ones that discovered chocolate. Women discovered chocolate. And so that was one of the pulse that we brought back from the past. This is the dark chocolate. It's organic, it's healthy and tasty, and it's so good. And women, if they have menstrual pains, if they will eat dark chocolate pulse or even dark chocolate organic bars and things like that, 3 or 4 days before they know that they're going to go into their menstrual pain, they don't have any pain at all. It's all gone. And I've taught women that, and they go, what? Are you kidding? You're crazy. I said, just give it a try. And they come back and they're, oh, it worked. And of course it does. Geez.
Yeah.
And then we have berries. Here's a blueberry pulse. And these different ones taste so unique and so wonderful. And I like them all. But some people, they only want chocolate. And that's fine. Others want blueberry. Well, that's fine. Original. And some even want to have mango. It's so interesting how healthy and tasteful all of these things are and how powerful to the human body. And I really hope in my heart of hearts that people will get this from you, because I gave you the recipes and you've learned how to make it, and it's wonderful. And they should have this in their home and just snack it whenever they feel like it, and put some in their car. If they're traveling, why not snack? and even have some at work. Just don't let the boss see you. And if he gets upset, fire the boss. But anyway, the pulse is just fabulous. And it's interesting that we call the heartbeat the pulse. And that is the word that came from this meal. It's what sends the life power to all of the cells, all 10,000 trillion cells of the human body love the different nutrients inside of pulse. It's fabulous. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Don.